do think there's a cycle almost of civilization and catastrophe or cataclysm.
I think it was Robert Schoch had the theory about the Sphinx with water erosion.
That's right.
And I think that kind of begins this conversation about Younger Dryas, right? Isn't that like...
it begins, it ties it back to an era that happens to coincide with, the Younger Dryas, and also, for that matter, Atlantis and Solon's and Plato's story of the destruction of Atlantis.
All of a sudden, the dates start lining up.
They really do. It's amazing.
So break this down. What is his theory? And
the great, we shouldn't forget the, rest in peace, John Anthony West. So the Sphinx, it sits down at the end of there's a causeway connected to the middle pyramid complex. It's in this big enclosure. The Sphinx is not like a built thing, like they carved down into the ground. And then they shaped it out of bedrock, but it's like this limestone outcropping that sticks up out of the ground. That was essentially its head. So they carved this big pit and they shaped this thing out of limestone. So there's been a study done. So Robert Schoch, who's a geologist, I think the professor of geology at the Boston University, if I'm not wrong, went and looked at the erosion that is present on the enclosure walls. Now the Sphinx itself has been repaired and worked on for like the Old Kingdom. There's actually records of the Old Kingdom people fixing it when they supposedly built it, which is like, how does that make sense?
So it was really cool when it was pointed out on the Sphinx, and I'm like, well, where the f would the water come from that would create these?